Hi, this is Polly from thefitmumformula.com. Right, is it possible to lose weight by eating more food? Well, yes it is, and it's nothing to do with hijacking and tricking your metabolism or anything like that, or trying to prevent starvation mode or any of these other things that are actually a lot more misleading than the truth is behind them. What it is it's about eating the most filling foods possible, so you fill up your belly but without overdoing the calories. So you fill up on low calorie but very bulky and filling foods. Now, we call this term volumetrics. I'm not sure it's the actual scientific term when we're talking about diet anyway. What I do know is that somebody's turned it into an actual diet, surprise, surprise, where there's money to be made, eh? But the principles behind it are filling up. The numbers in this particular diet anyway are categorized into 4 different things. Number 1 is what you would eat most of, so that is fruit and vegetables, mostly vegetables and less fruit, because basically fruit and vegetables are very high in fiber and they're very high in water, so you can eat a lot without having very many calories. An entire plate of vegetables piled high is still not going to be as many calories as something extremely calorie dense, say some peanut butter and chocolate peanut butter cups, something like that. Just a small handful of those, or something, really sweet, things like that. Secondly, on the list, number 2 is what they've got written down is lean proteins, low-fat dairy, and certain legumes like beans and pulses, and other starches like potatoes and sweet potatoes, and rice and things like that. Then number 3, you've got your bread, because bread isn't actually a very filling food, desserts, cakes, and then finally you've got things like full-fat cheese and junk food and sweets and chocolate. So you can see the sense behind that, really. Right at the top of the list, you've got your low-calorie things, and then right down the bottom of the list, what you eat least of is the highest calorie things. Now, there's a lot of common sense towards that. However, I really love this principle, but I would make some tweaks to it, because although some proteins, for example, salmon, are actually high-ish calorie because salmon is an oily fish, it's got fat in it, or things like beef that's got fat marbled in a steak and things like that. They've got fat in them, so they're not the lowest of calorie things. But for some people, fat can actually be quite satiating, and adding fat to a meal can make it more filling than having the equivalent meal but a fat-free version. So you're more likely to feel satisfied and overeat, whereas meals that are completely fat-free, sometimes, let's say, dry toast or very low-fat biscuits, it's very easy to overeat those things. They're not very satisfying. And also, protein is extremely satisfying. It's the most, calorie for calorie, the most satisfying micronutrient. So I would really be bumping protein up there. And that includes cheese in moderation, because cheese has got protein and fat, but it is very calorie dense. So I wouldn't necessarily put cheese, high-fat cheese, in the same category as something like chocolate and sweets. I don't think they will make most people feel the same way. But the principles behind volumetrics is brilliant. It makes complete sense. You're eating more of the foods that are bulkier for less calories, and they fill your tummy up, and less of the foods that don't fill you up. Because one of the ways your brain detects that you are full is by that distension of your stomach and distension of your gut and the stretching of it. And that's another reason people advise to fill up on drinks. Have a glass of water when you think you might be hungry, or before a meal as well, because it helps create that stretching of the stomach and the gut, and then that creates hormonal signals and chemical signals that tell your brain you're full. So that's volumetrics, and in a nutshell, that is how you eat more food by while still losing weight. I'm afraid it doesn't mean eat more of any food in the world, but if you've got a big appetite, and personally I've got quite a big appetite, it is a way of staying full, satisfying your appetite without piling on the pounds. So I hope that was useful today. I think that's quite an easy one to implement, but of course if you've got any questions, do get in touch, polly@thefitmumformula.com, or comment below or whatever. And I hope that was useful for you. Okay, bye bye.